guys, today we're going to have some fun with makeup. I'm going to show you how to make a gnarly, nasty, disgusting gash in your arm. This technique can be used on any part of the body, but I'm going to show you using my arm because it's easiest. Before I began recording, I took regular Kleenex and I tore off the straight edges. This will be your prosthetic skin. You can use any kind of tissue that you like. I used 4 layers for my skin. Just take off the straight edges. So consider before you start, if you're particularly hairy on your arms, you may want to shave. The latex will adhere to the hairs on your arms, and when you go to peel it off, it will hurt. You can use Elmer's glue for this process, but for liquid latex, you want to shave. We're going to start by using Mehron's bruising palette. As you can see, I use this palette quite a bit. I do like to color underneath the prosthetic of the arm. So you're going to take a cosmetic sponge and we're going to start with this brick red color, and you're going to dot it on and begin to blend. With Mehron's palette, you build from the lightest color to the darkest. So next we're going in with this ruddy brown color. Just use your cosmetic wedge or sponge or whatever it is that you're using and dab and repeat just like you did with the brick red color. You may not want to go out as far as you did with the red because you don't want to cover up all the red. But just add some different tones and colors. Next, go in with your blue to add some bruising underneath the wound. Now we're going to start in with the liquid latex. Again, you can use Elmer's glue. We're using liquid latex. You don't need much, just a little bit. Again, not much, that's all you need. And I like to use this sponge with the latex. And you're going to go in just like you did with the cosmetics, working quickly because the latex will dry quickly. You don't want it to dry too fast before it has had time to adhere to any of your prosthetic skin. So dab it on everywhere that you want your layer of fake skin. Working quickly before it dries. Take a layer of your tissue and drape it right on, patting down to let the latex adhere to the Kleenex. You'll see that it was a thin layer of latex, so it didn't adhere to all layers. That's fine, it's not a problem. It will just peel right off, and we'll be adding more skin anyway. Go around the edges pulling gently, and any excess that was not caught by the latex will pull right off. If anything sticks up, don't worry about it if little pieces stick up because it will lay down with the next layer of latex. And repeat the process. Going over your edges, and on top of the first layer. Add your next layer of prosthetic skin. Pat down, let it adhere, and just like you did before, you will lift off anything that was not adhered to with the latex. Again, pulling gently. And rinse, repeat. Again, going over your edges. I'm going to speed this up now. You get the idea. Again, add as many layers as you like. Once you have your prosthetic on your skin, you will have to let it dry. After it's dry, then you can start in with your colors. I'm going to start with this yellow, give it a little bit of an infected look in some areas, and gently dab. Again, working from lightest color to darkest. I'm now going in with the sickly green. You can use a coarse sponge. Sometimes it does work better. And now we're going in with the red and ruddy brown. Just color it in as you see fit. Nothing's exact. No wounds are exactly the same. No wounds look pretty. So don't worry too much. Just try to make it look organic. Now we're going in with the blue to add some more bruising. And keep adding in the colors that you desire. You can stop right here if you want to. If you look at it, it looks like a really awful, like rad burn of sorts. But we're going to keep going. So to make this gorier, take some tweezers, just any old tweezers, and start digging a hole into your latex and skin. Be careful that you don't hit your skin with the sharp tweezers. You don't want you to hurt yourself, but just make a hole from your fake skin to your real skin. I like to use these scissors to sort of cut a larger hole, but you don't want to cut the whole wound open. These are not very sharp scissors. You don't want to cut the whole wound open because you want it to have a jagged appearance. So take your finger and start pulling. If you ever want to gross somebody out, do this in front of them. But don't tell them that it's makeup at first. Spread the wound open. If you want the skin to stay down, you can grab a little more latex on your sponge and use that to stick the upper layer to the bottom layer, just to kind of help keep it open. And now we're going to go back with some shading, because now obviously we have Kleenex on our arm and we don't want it to be too awful obvious. So I start with just a little bit of shading. But then another thing that I like to do, let's get this open. Another thing that I like to do is I like to grab a black eyeshadow. Any black eyeshadow will do. I think this even has sparkle in it. Then you get a small brush. Use your brush to get into the black shadow and start going underneath the edges of where your wound is supposed to be. I find that this helps give the wound a little more depth as you're building the different colors, and as you're building the wound. I just like to go around the edges with the black to give it a little more depth. And now we're gonna start shading again. There's no rhyme or reason. It's all just making it look awful and covering up the white of the Kleenex as much as possible. Going in with my coarser sponge now, we're adding some more coloring, and you can stop right there. It looks pretty gnarly, doesn't it? But we're going to keep going because we're not there yet. I like to make the inside of the wound dark. And then now we're adding in the fake blood. This coagulated blood will start to coagulate on its own. So I like to make sure that there's plenty in there. Now let's add in a little bit of infection. Just keep messing around with your colors. Q-tips work very well for this. Keep messing around with your colors to get the inside looking just as awful and gnarly as you possibly can. Again, no rhyme or reason, just make it look disgusting. Nasty, huh? That was pretty gross, huh? I grossed out a lot of my friends on Facebook when I posted that picture. Thanks for joining me today. I'm hoping to do more of these kinds of videos. I like doing horror, grotesque makeup. I find it fun. I also like to do some fantasy sort of stuff, so I hope you'll come back and see more. And until then, have a great day. Bye.